Everybody, welcome back to Northern Lion Plays. A little bit of Dark Souls 2. Hopefully more than a little bit. At least hopefully we accomplish more than a little bit. We are, we've seen the Earthen Peak. It doesn't look that bad. It's just the covetous demon. Now fuck you. You have no idea what is about to befall us here. Earthen Peak is a heinous trip into the mind of a sociopath. Now, hopefully we can get out of here without getting poisoned to death 1,000 times. I don't hold out a lot of hope for that. We're already nearly freaking poisoned. There's pots full of poison. There's enemies without heads, but despite not having heads, they have poison. I would probably prioritize the brain and the skull before I worried about having actual poisonness. That guy didn't even get drenched into there, so I'm not sure what his problem is. But, yeah, basically, this area is pretty tricky. It's not like this is an area that's trickier than everything that we've seen so far. Well, there actually is a backstab area on these guys that I guess I didn't notice prior. Radiant life gems, nice to have, I guess. Life gems I'm not too concerned about because we can just get them basically infinitely from one of the merchants in Majula if we so choose. That looks like a hidden door. It's not. And it actually did like a save after I hit the wall as if like that lowered my durability. Doesn't this look like a hidden door though? I know you can just tap the A button, but I attack it so that you can't see me tapping the A button, so you just have to kind of take my word for it. Let's just hold up for a second here, because I know that this part is a little tricky. What I was going to say, though, is Earthen Peak is tricky. It's not, like, bar none, the hardest part of the game that we've had so far. Keep in mind, like I said a couple of times so far, basically, like, where we're at in the game right now. Oh, that was perfect. Oh, go to town! Charlie Brown, no! That's a bad way to die. I'm not pleased with myself. I should have been more patient there. Yeah, but, Dark Souls, the early to mid game is set up like a bunch of threads. At one end of the thread, or at the end of one thread is Duke's dearest Freya. On the end of one thread is the Lost Sinner. On the end of one thread is the Rotten. And on the end of one thread is what we'll eventually see if we go deep enough into Earthen Peak and the area beyond it. So, this is roughly comparable to, you could say, maybe... Sinner's Rise, we're approaching that anyway. Roughly comparable to, what else is in that, general area? I'm trying to think as we ran through I guess it's roughly comparable to, like, Brightstone Cove, Seldora, I guess. However it is pronounced. So it's not like it's gonna be insurmountable. But, it's probably more annoying to me than any of those aforementioned levels just because of the prevalence of status effects, particularly poison. That sword was freaking me out there. Yeah, poison is an ever-present kind of bane to our existence here. And I say bane because I'm making a little bit of wordplay, but many people will not get that until we get a little bit further along. That was basically the ideal way to fight this guy. I do lion strat this area. Rest assured we will be lion stratting at some point in the near future. Lion strat, of course, being my quote-unquote patented way to basically sprint through enemies. But we're not going to start by doing that because I don't have a death wish. And, of course, immediately after saying that, I run outside. Now, there's probably enemies out here. There's always enemies if you know where to look. There we go. But I'd rather fight him out here where there's no archers. So I do take a little lightning damage, I think it is, from his attacks. But it was easy enough to stun him there. Is he going to S-dis? Really? Well, he can S-dis if you ask me. We get the Grave Warden mask. It's going to be hard to convince me to take anything but Vengarl's mask, considering, Vengarl's mask makes me look like a dope-ass dragon. I have no idea what this does, which is exactly why we're going to pull it. Oh, it pulls the poison up so that maybe we're at less risk of getting attacked there. Okay. So I know there's a ton of items in this area, and they're all basically optional. You can bum rush the boss if you want to, but I'm tempted to actually check it out for myself. It's gonna be a little tricky to kill these headless archers around this area because there's two of them, and they do like half of your poison stack. Oh, just knock them off the edge, come on. They do like half of your poison threshold when you block, which is bullshit, but anyway. Killing one of them at least. I think I killed one of them. I got the points for the, I got the souls for the death anyway. I'm not gonna use the... I hate being poisoned, but I'm not going to use moss because I need it for later. I assure you that, I've done the calculations. Oh, are you fucking kidding me? This guy's an incredible shot. Okay, so step one is just open the chest. Poison damage is almost done. We had an invincibility frame there, so we got very lucky. And we picked up a pike, you know. It's like we just went to Starbucks or something like that. We may end up using the pike. I don't know. Basically, to get it to the point where I have my battle axe, I have like triple the Titanite necessary, so that's not so bad. Remember I mentioned earlier we could burn... Oh my god! What the heck? Get away from the ladder! Get away from the ladder! There's Cirque du Soleil undead ninjas here. I believe it's pronounced Cirque du Soleil. Okay, that was awful damage on my part, but I believe this means that we are approaching another bonfire. One thing I'll notice, you know, I think Dark Souls 2 has a relatively comparable difficulty to the original, but I do think that the prevalence of bonfires makes it a little bit easier, at least to make progress. The bosses themselves, you know, your mileage may vary, but, ooh, can we, is there, I don't think I should do this. Let's come back down here. The bosses themselves, again, your mileage may vary, but, in terms of just, you know, getting from bonfire to bonfire, I think it's a little quicker, but that could be, you know, me just thinking that that's the case, because I have played more Dark Souls 1 than Dark Souls 2. So, we rested at Central Earthen Peak. This is an extremely important bonfire for us, because we can actually light a torch on this bonfire. I think there might be a hollow out here that we have to kill. He's still here, okay. No backstab? No backstab. That's fine. So we'll just stun lock him, basically. Oh, you guys still start at the top? Well, we can actually take our shield out for this. This isn't so important. Sound effects are getting a little freaky here. That's okay. Try not to die. Try not to die, if possible. Generally speaking, that's like strategy A number 1 in Dark Souls. The less you die, usually the more you live. Not always, though. Alright. Bad play on my part, but we're just going to rest at this bonfire pretty soon again anyway, so... What you can do is come to this bonfire, extremely important for this boss fight that's coming up. And you can light this windmill on fire with the torch. I think you just walk up here and do it. You know, just fire plus stone equals windmills, of course being burning. So when the windmill burns, this is going to make our boss fight much, much easier. And it's just kind of a cool, like, environmental, like, pseudo-puzzle type deal as well. I'm not sure if that actually saves after we rest, but obviously I want to rest to get more Estus. Certainly it seems like that windmill is pretty effed up permanently, so let's just move along. Should be getting introduced to a new enemy type very soon. Black fire bombs. Sure, why not? That's not the new enemy type. Had a feeling there might be someone hiding a little sneakily around here. I hate that it takes 4 hits to kill these guys, but that's basically what I get for not upgrading my weapons, but we don't 100% need to. I don't know what this does. Raises like a pot of poison somewhere, maybe? Oh, good. It locks me out of my bonfire path. That's good for me. Let's keep that open for now. There's, you know, the possibility that might be useful at some point, but certainly not right now. Maybe that allows me to get over there or something. What about this? I don't know if this is where I want to be going. I vaguely remember this area. Sure, okay, let's just head upwards then. I don't think this is the path that I want to take. But our boss fight is rapidly approaching. There's usually an NPC down here, I think. Oh, you know what? It's usually Pate, and we didn't actually talk to Pate. And this room is like full of traps. Okay, I apologize for giving you a very incomplete Earthen Peak walkthrough here. That's okay, though. Don't worry about it too hard. So we're going to encounter a lot of these, like grave guardians, something like that. Ding-dongs is what I'm going to refer to them as. Lightning ding-dongs, mostly. But we're going to get introduced to a new enemy type and a scary enemy type. It's just like a sorceress. Do I have... I just want to equip like some like poison daggers or something, just to aggro this guy from afar. There we go, we got 25 poison throwing knives. Just one of them should be enough to get his attention. And also got the attention of his lady friend, which is less good for me, shall we say. I really thought he was going to break those barriers and lead to Poison Town, but maybe those, sorry, not barrels really, pots, but I guess those pots don't actually convey poison damage in and of themselves, which is good. Okay, so once they heal, you got them. The only thing that's annoying about these guys is that they do have, Grave Warden, that's it. They do have lightning damage, so if you have 100% physical block shield, but you don't have lightning blocked, then, you know, that's not going to help you too much. Pretty sure this thing, like, explodes in my face after I open it, so I'm going to try to get out of the way as soon as possible. Yep, I remembered that one fairly well, I would say. Now we'll see what item we get from it. I will fight those sorcerers. They're not the worst thing in the world. Pharaoh's Lockstone is an item that is, you know, fairly useful. So, realistically, pretty low HP here. And that's not a sorcerer on the other side. It's a little bit of a tricky jump. You gotta go like, oh, and then you get over it. And I got poisoned. I'm pretty sure that was a combined result of like hitting the barrels and, hitting the pots and getting hit by like an arrow or a throwing knife or something from these guys. That's okay though. I can't remember if this is the correct path to take to the boss, but I do remember going through this area. Is this like where we go to get to the bonfire? I think it is. I think the bonfire is like right down there, so I could have much more easily gotten through this area and just bypassed like 90% of it. But whatever. You know, we've done what we've done now. I very much doubt we'll be able to beat the boss on our first try. It's okay. Oh, yeah, I remember this part greatly. These guys are gonna get aggroed. I think what I do is I just sprint by and say, see you later, alligator, and this guy chases me down. This is the way to the boss fight. I remember it very vividly now from trying it multiple times. Don't remember you, though. Let's just pretend that's not happening for now. Many people are going to chase me, so I'm just going to kind of fall down. That's going to do damage, obviously, but if I can just kite these guys away from... Oh, I totally could have just walked down the staircase there instead. Nope, we're not going to do this today. Instead, we're just going to get through the fog wall, and we're going to watch the cutscene, and everyone's going to be... Happy family. Okay, so this is Mitha, the Baneful Queen, aka the boss that half of our Dark Souls 2 has been bitching about for like a whole week now. Deservedly so. This boss fight is much easier if you go through the process of actually breaking the windmill. The reason being, normally this boss fight just perpetually pumps poison. Does the ground have poison? It does. Okay, so we just stay on the platform then. Normally, this boss fight perpetually causes poison damage to accrue on you, which is obviously like a big freaking problem. But if you break the windmill, it becomes a much more surmountable affair, to the point where it actually might be a little bit on the easier side for us here. So seriously, like, if you're having trouble with this fight, I know a lot of people are, break the windmill, and you can thank me later. You can thank me in multiple ways. I accept, you know, food offerings. Oh, don't probably let yourself get caught in that boa constrictor move. Luckily, she doesn't go in for the kill. It must have been her stamina totally used up. Alright, so... Oh! I'm an idiot. I tried to Estus too early there, but luckily I lived. And of course, I'm the smartest man in the world. I don't actually have life gems on my equipment meter. So what we're gonna do here is basically don't get caught in the grab, circle around. This might take us a couple of tries, but at least I know that it's not gonna be so bad for us anyway. And we're just gonna do one attack every time we get a chance. You gotta watch out for that one. That's a pain in the butt. She always goes back to get her head. But yeah, seriously, if you eliminate the poison bullshit that happens on this fight, it's actually pretty comparable to a lot of other boss fights in Dark Souls 2 at this level in terms of difficulty, I would say. Oh, yeah, that was stupid of me. I can't really afford to be hemorrhaging HP right now. I don't even have a Ring of Regeneration on. God damn it, I was so close to actually succeeding there. But going into this fight with more Estus, and having life gems on my inventory, on my equip bar, should make this a much easier fight. That was just me being ill-prepared, because I actually didn't realize that the boss was so close. This is not a Great Soul boss, by the way. This is just another kind of, not really a mini-boss. It's a full-fledged boss, but it's a boss that is not one of the major kind of gates, although we do have to beat it to move forward. So I guess it depends on what your definition of a gate is. And I can't tell you that I'm actually, or I should tell you, I guess I should say, that I'm getting very excited about the fact that we are fairly close to finishing this track. And then after we do that, or maybe even before we do that, we may go back and fight the Rodden, just to put ourselves in the best possible position for moving forward. So we are rapidly approaching the midpoint of the game. It's not short, but it's not especially long either, although it's worth noting that my Dark Souls 1, I guess I only have like one... I have 2 different kinds of life gems. It's worth noting my Dark Souls 1 Let's Play only came out to be like 40 episodes or something like that. There's a trap here, by the way. I just stepped on that to demonstrate that it's kind of a little Sen's Fortressy here. there is an item there. We'll go pick it up later. For now, I'm mostly concerned with making our way back to this boss fight while taking as little damage as possible. But anyway, yeah, my Dark Souls 1 Let's Play with a couple of invasion videos ended up being like 40 videos long. So I think we're in for a pretty like comparable kind of length of a series here, which is cool. That's perfect for me. This must be an AI summon. I actually did not know that there was an AI summon there. I would have to imagine that that is probably Lucatiel. And, you know, a lot of people get down on me for, oh, just get through, thank you. A lot of people get down on me for using AI summons. My genuine feeling about it, my sentiment, don't throw your head yet. My genuine sentiment is that the AI summons are all pretty bad, so I almost summon them as like a novelty, if you will. But also, you need to summon them in order to get the... Ooh. God damn it. You need to summon them in order to get their narrative, like the ends of their stories a lot of the time as well. Okay, so I managed not to get hit by that, much to my surprise. Real problem with Mytha right now is that this little ding-dong here refuses to actually fight me in the center. There we go. Much easier for me now to actually do some damage. Don't go to the ends of the earth. This isn't Pirates of the Caribbean 3. Alright, lucky dodge for the magic attack there. This is like all enemies that have magic in Dark Souls 2, all bosses at least, you want to get right up in their grill, but unfortunately Mytha with the poison on the edges, a little bit trickier to apply that strategy to. Just a little bit though, you just gotta be a little bit patient, you know? Dying once against Mytha is no cause for alarm. So I'm just staying back, I really don't want to risk any poison. I would rather take some fairly unavoidable damage from like, please tell me I don't get hit by that, good. I would rather take some fairly unavoidable damage from like a magic spear or something like that than walk into the poison and lose half of my HP when I knew it was going to happen and easily could have done something about it. So again, just play it smart. That was, I didn't realize that you could actually just dodge that just by rolling, so lucky me. Not even by rolling, sorry, just by strafing. She is going to make me come over there. I know it. Young lady, don't make me come over there. There we go. That's more to my liking with respect to attacks I would like to see out of the Baneful Queen. A little bit of a pain in the butt. Oh, yep. I would advise you not to do what I do. Always do what I say, don't do what I do. But it's okay, as long as we just Estus smartly. I probably should have done it there, but I wanted to wait for an attack I was a little bit more familiar with. And we're basically like right on the limit of being able to Estus once before she could recover and do another attack. But we're doing fine. Might not seem like it, but it's okay. Thank you for being a friend, but also letting me through there. Please come back from the outskirts of the fight here. And why are you glowing green? That's not necessary for anybody, I would say. Just keep it cool, young lady. Don't lose your head over it. Okay. That's no way to get ahead in life, and other co-opted phrases that I'm going to use to make myself seem funny, just because I'm familiar with a movie that a lot of people like. So, play it patient here. You don't even want to know. Oh, you don't even want to know how I beat this boss in my off-camera run, because that'll just make you want to watch that instead, but it doesn't exist. That's why it's called off-camera. Basically, sorry, just Estusing up here. Basically, I just went, like, two-hand with my great club, and I didn't even burn the windmill. So I still had to deal with all the poison bullshit. Don't get hit. Yes, I had to deal with all the poison bullshit, but I just went two-hand with my great club, was completely poisoned the whole time. Oh, lordy, lordy, look who's a dumb idiot. It's okay, just play it cool. I was telling a story. It's a good story. I just basically two-handed great club and went to town while being poisoned the whole time, and just didn't give two rats S's about the way that she wanted to do things, and just decided, you know, I'm gonna teach you how this fight works, Mytha. Oh wait, you're dead. Is that why you're not listening? So, we're in the golden red zone. I don't watch very much football. We're in the red zone for this Mytha fight, and I say that because we're almost done. We're very, very nearly done. But this is the point where, oftentimes, I lose focus and end up dying like a big idiot. That should not be the case here, though. I don't quite want to go into the poison, even though it looks like it's an easy kill if we could just get like another 2 attacks. Let's do it. Okay, 1 attack, actually, 1 attack. Okay, Mytha the Baneful Queen is dead. That's exciting news. She was actually the hardest boss for me in this section, I think. Okay, see you later. She was the hardest boss for me in this section, even though the next boss that, you know, we fight is a little bit further along. So there should be a... You're not going to follow me? I thought maybe there would be an item in this area, but there's not. And there, you can rejoice a little bit. That's one of the more difficult areas of the game, actually conquered, and it only cost us a couple of redos. At least, like, a couple of deaths per video, but truth be told, that's not so bad. Again, this is an area that, if you combine Harvest Valley and Earthen Peak, probably took me about a whole night to complete in Dark Souls. Your mileage may vary, though. Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls, you know what I'm talking about. It feels weird to say Dark Souls 1, so I just kind of go ahead and say, like, Dark Souls and refer to every game in the entire series, basically, I guess. Alright, so we will exit out here. And I kind of forgot how this area works. Do you come to life? I don't think you're coming to life. Your bones look very much broken. Alright, this is the Iron Keep. Iron Keep is the last area for this point in the game. Now, there's a lot of... I mean, I could travel back to Majula, but I'm not too worried about it. Maybe I want to look at the pike very quickly and just see how that would compare to our battle axe. So pike would probably be this thing right here. It would be a higher equipment load. What about notched whip? We could make that work. No, we don't have dexterity for it. Morningstar? Scales like C with strength, which is the same as the axe. Scales not at all with dexterity. I don't know, I'm digging the axe so far. We don't need to change necessarily just yet, as long as we're still doing okay against the bosses. I might just want to, like, upgrade the falchion. The Old Knight Greatsword, like, it's cool, but the durability is so bad. Same large club is, like, I don't like the moveset as much. Anyway, I think I'm fine with the battle axe for now, but, you know, there are items in this area. We can get items, but... Or we can get those items, I should say, but we need to execute a little bit of a trick in order to do it. Basically, in order to walk on this, like, charred rock, you should douse yourself in water first, if possible, and the reason behind that is that, if you're actually doused in water, like you roll around in a pool or something prior to walking on hot coals, you take something like 50% less damage from fire, which is a pretty useful difference. So, obviously, these enemies are being kind of a pain in the butt. They're a little bit stronger than anything we faced in Earthen Keep, but still not anything to be 100% concerned about. And this area can basically be as short or as long as we want it to be. These doors don't lead anywhere, by the way. This door does, though. And I believe there's actually a merchant in here, and I don't remember what this merchant sells, except for a couple of things that are particularly useful. So I believe he's just right through here, chilling out in this room. Hello.
What? Who are you? Who, me? What?
Alright, so, I don't know what incense does. Oh, these are just, like, different kinds of miracles, I guess. We're just gonna talk to him and get, like, all of his, dialogue out, just so that we make sure that he goes back to Majula later. Just keep it going.
Have you heard? Built to honor.
Alright, we'll talk about that a little later. Seriously. I think he's already done some of this before. Yeah, okay, so he's gone through all the dialogue. Maybe he doesn't show up in Majula later, because usually, if they show up in Majula later, they're like, wow, it's time for me to be packing up this town and leaving. So, we can get some interesting stuff here. The Jester's Cap, I believe, actually gives us... is there a way to see description? Yes. Jesters are more than festival fixtures. Some have a second face hidden from public view, and it raises item discovery, which is pretty useful. We can also get a Curse Bite Ring, which increases curse resistance. It's probably not a bad idea. I'm trying to think of who we would fight remaining in the game that still has curse. This is a good idea. We should buy this. There's a very prominent boss later in the game for which that might be important. You do not have Titanite for sale, but you have the most important things in the game. You have the hello nut, the thank you nut, the I'm sorry nut, and the very good nut. Very good nut. I'm not proud of myself for saying that, okay? And why don't we buy one human effigy? This is what I'm buying instead of levels. And a fragrant branch of yore. Those are always important, and, you know, all sorts of sorceries here as well. So cool. Are you gonna, if I talk to you now, will you say something different? Maybe? Oh, he does. He gave me a free item, Covetous Gold Serpent Ring +1. I'm really glad I went back and talked to him. Alright, so he's saying the same thing, basically, but, cool. We'll definitely put on Covetous Gold Serpent Ring. Give me a second here. At least this gives us something to do at the end of the episode. We probably need this more than, like, the Ash Knuckle Ring. What does the Ash Knuckle Ring do anyway? Petrification resistance, no big deal. Covetous Gold Serpent Ring. Fallen foes are more likely to drop items. That's really useful. And the most important thing, let's unequip a couple of these not so useful items. We'll put 3 of our carvings on here just for fun. So we'll put hello. These are to communicate with NPCs. I'm sorry, and of course, we would be remiss if I didn't put very good on there. So I'm going to turn on my volume, and then this is how we're going to close out this episode, basically, is by saying all these things.
Hello.
Alright, hello's pretty good.
I'm sorry.
Probably going to have to use that one a lot in the future.
Very good.
Beautiful. Okay, just to save time, it's not a long walk, but I'm going to use a homeward bone to take us back to the last bonfire we rested at, which should presumably be the one in Iron Keep. We've spent all our souls, so we don't have to worry too much about that. And I guess that'll do it for this episode. So as always, thanks for watching. We've got another major area to tackle next. It's a difficult area. I hope you enjoyed this episode. We beat one of the more difficult bosses in the game, even though we made it much easier on ourselves by destroying the windmill first. I would strongly recommend that if you're having problems. As always, thanks for watching. If you did enjoy the episode, make sure to click the like button. It helps out a great deal. And of course, subscribe if you want to see more Dark Souls 2 every single day, because it will be here. Make sure to check the channel for future episodes. And of course, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.